Right, this is what time I'm on. And this is what the actual radiator and fan assembly looks like once it's removed. Now there's a clip there that I didn't mention that holds the water pipe on. It goes all the way around, and it's a bit of a faff to get to that. They've not explained why they keep on removing these. So the ones that you see on there seem to replace with brand new ones, but to me they look alright to me. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pressure wash it all down. I'm going to put some grease on end of these bearings on there and there, squirt it with a bit of WD just to ensure that they do, because I've never had any fans go wrong in any of my cars. I'll grease all that up, make sure that's okay after I've pressure washed it. I might even paint the top off, I don't know, depending on whether it's the metal section of it. I might paint the metal section down there. And looking back at the car, turn the flash on it, rotate my inspection lamp so that it shines a bit of light onto the subject. That's what it looks like. That's the nightmare that Volkswagen has created. Any Volkswagen owners, if you've got one of them type of engines, let's turn that off a minute. So that's the nightmare. Now this sort of AZ00003, if there's core plugs on it, they're more than likely going to start rotting through on that engine. How am I going to get the core plugs on that? If I'm the professional mechanic being asked to do that job, so it's took this long to take this part off, to disconnect all that. There's your high pressure lines, and I had to depressurise it with inflating tool. Then check all the hose lines off, all springs flying all over. I didn't have to take that off. I didn't really have to take battery off, but I did. But I've put it back on again now, and it's all right. So one reason I took it off is because I didn't want it to detonate the airbags. I thought, no, I'll get it well. Let's see if my radio still works, and it does. It also says safe 1000 in your pounds, pence and sterling. But think about words per minute rather than pounds. Letters per minute, or games, credits, or something else. In all honesty, I paid £1,000 for the car. So that man that I bought it from got £1,000 in his bank. But if he were going to keep it, he'd have done all of that. He's more than likely spent the money on sorting his house out, which is good on him. But while I'm looking at this nightmare, I'm thinking, who's getting it next? So if I repair that and I sell it for like £1,500, you're going to have to take all that off again, aren't they? All that's got to come off again just to change core plugs. How much do you think it's going to cost that poor bastard to change them core plugs on that engine? Think about that. Because I don't want to have to do all that. How bad's that going to be to change that clutch? Well, just think about that. Poor fucking mechanic trying to make a fucking living, having to do all that nightmare work. You know what I mean? What a fucking nightmare that you bastards have created. I can barely see fucking spark plugs. And this is a Volkswagen and they're supposed to be reliable. Now, those wires get hot, that fuse board gets hot. There's your problem. If you cut that wire, the brown one, and you put a ceramic resistor in line from there to there, just lowers the amount of voltage going to that end. It increases the resistance in the coil. Therefore it will not cause the wires to get hot, because it reduces the amount of or increases the amount of resistance, because that might not be wound correctly. It might be causing a dead short, which causes the wires to get hot, which causes all that to get hot, because it only comes on and it only gets hot when I engage that. So if there's an inline resistor on there, a ceramic resistor, just like what's inside here, comes quick charger, the 3K resistor, ceramic one, maybe mounted onto somewhere. There might be a mount that you can fit it on. That might eliminate that overheating problem. And I hear you talking about, well, all you do is you just take that wire off and you change that wire. Just like that. And there's no room to get your fingers in. You can't even get to spark plugs. What a stupid engineer designed that. That is what I can say about you. This is supposed to be arse car, isn't it? You think back to it. That was arse car, but cars driving away into distance while we're having to look at this fucking nightmare. But the terrorist bastards are driving them at us. What kind of security fucking threat is that? They're literally creeping up behind us and driving cars at us. That's what fucking nightmare it is. Oh, just wait there. Wait there with that expensive thing there. Just keep waiting until criminals come out of prison and sneak up right behind you while you're still trying to escape, while you're still trying to sort your lives out. Intelligent, aren't they? Right down to the point where your car's stereo, when you first turn it on, it says 1000. What's that about? Turn it off, turn it on again. Safe. When you press the key and you put key in ignition, does that, and it comes alive and it says safe 1000. How much is in your bank account? How much is in your home safe? How much did you pay for a car? And it's strange that it's exactly the same amount of money that it's telling me on fucking stereo. But why did he take the ashtray out? He drinks to remember, or drinks to forget. He smokes to what? You know what I mean? Listen to the soundtrack. Well, I can't, because alarm's on. You know what I mean? Because I press button. And how many times have I had to plug it in with a code reader to erase all the codes that's created? Clever, aren't they? To keep sending the job. Meanwhile, they were clever enough to take me out of my industry and collapse all the printing industry down, just so you could offset yourself into a safe area where you were actually being looked after, like with undergrounds. And now you've got no undergrounds and hardly any offset litho printing, because you don't even get a tax disc with security and all the foil work on it and embossing, because the people can't even afford to keep the printers going, because they'd rather talk to phones and that instead and keep it secretive for the ends. How much is in your bank account? How much are you owing?